So the iPhone 14 Pro has officially been discontinued from Apple. So I wanted to take a couple of seconds and just kind of tell you exactly what my thoughts were this iPhone or on this iPhone since it first came out, and to kind of see if it's kind of still even worth buying, if it's still, a good iPhone. Now, obviously this thing is still a very good iPhone, but this thing actually changed up a lot of things that Apple initially brought. So first of all, if you all remember, the iPhone 14 Pro, which came out end of 2022, this was the iPhone that pretty much changed a lot of things for Apple. So we finally got the dynamic island, a change to the notch finally on this iPhone, and that was something that a lot of people were looking forward to, including myself. I could not believe how long it took Apple to change from their original design to this type of design. I think it just took way too long, and finally they ended up doing it. But after that, what ended up happening was that Apple went through and essentially, created the iPhone 15 Pro, and even with the iPhone 15s, they still kept that dynamic island, which is very funny. So the 14 Pro actually did change up a lot of things from Apple, which was really cool, and I was actually really, really happy to see that. So from that perspective alone, that is a really good thing that the iPhone 14 Pro ended up doing. It actually ended up going through and switching up a lot of things and changing the body, which again was a really awesome thing. Now, on top of that, with the iPhone 14 Pro, you were also getting the first iPhone with eSIM. So this was not the first iPhone with eSIM, but it was the first iPhone with the lack of SIM card. And I think that's a very insane thing when you kind of think about it. The fact that this particular iPhone had the lack of a SIM card, but it was the Pro model, was honestly kind of insane, because when you think about the latest, greatest generation of iPhones, you think of the ones that have all the features. And this one did lack the SIM card. It was also one of the only iPhones I never used, mostly because of the lack of SIM card slot. I didn't feel like switching over to eSIM fully just yet because I didn't know if I was going to switch phones or whatever. So I kept my 13 Pro, but I will be probably switching over to the 15 Pro. This one also had basically the same type of display. It definitely had a lot of stuff that I was a big fan of. But again, when you kind of think about it, the iPhone 14 Pro, it's one of those iPhones that, I think will be remembered as one of the good ones. I don't think it was a bad iPhone at all, but it was one of the iPhones that I, that I bought that I never used. And it was just kind of weird, but I don't know. Will I end up using it in the future? Probably not, but definitely this was a good iPhone. It was great, but I think the dynamic island is the thing that this iPhone is going to be known for. But now that the iPhone 15 bought it, I think a lot of people will probably end up forgetting this iPhone in some ways. I feel like the same way that the iPhone XR basically was like the first cheap budget iPhone that, still had the notch. I think the iPhone SE, 3 will be forgotten, but the 14 Pro I don't think will be forgotten, but I think it would probably not be the, most standout iPhone of all time. So that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.